Angry Guy here, and today we're discussing the signs of a low value woman. So, today we're discussing the signs of a low value woman. I'm going to be jumping into them. I'm going to be reviewing some of these signs so you know what to look out for because there's a lot of these toxic people in this world right now. They're just trying to take advantage of you. So, you have to be careful in these streets. So, we're going to jump right into it because I know you guys don't like to mess around. The very first sign of a low value woman is going to be a woman who brings nothing to the table. The first sign of a low value woman is a woman who is proudly saying that she brings nothing to the table. She says that she is the table. She says that, a real man does not ask a woman, what she brings to the table. A real man brings everything. So he will provide a home for her. He will provide, food for her. She doesn't cook. She doesn't clean. So he'll provide cleaning for her. He will provide everything she needs, give her a life of luxury and ease. And her very presence is enough in the relationship. These women are women that you want to avoid. You don't want these women in your life because they will bring you nothing but stress, grief, anxiety, misery. You will overwork yourself for these people who don't actually care about you. They don't actually see your best interest. They don't even want you to live. They even resent your existence. I've actually been there before. I was dealing with a very low value woman, and no matter how much I did for her, she literally resented me. And when things went very bad in my life, that's when she would put me down because she really resented the fact that I was able to build something for myself. One thing that women don't like is when they see that you're a person that has influence over others and they cannot gain that influence, but then they have influence over you. So they feel like they are better than you, smarter than you, stronger than you, even though they cannot even do a third, heck, even 1% of what you are capable of. But when you start dealing with these people and you allow these people into your life, what you're doing is you're giving them your energy and you're giving them control of your mind. So you have to be very, very careful allowing a low value woman, just a low value person into your life whatsoever. This has to be a person who brings some form of value into your life. Something. They can't just be sitting there and eating off you, living off you, and saying that they're the table and your life will simply improve just of their presence. And you say, well, how will your presence improve my life? Because you don't cook, you don't clean. I'm supposed to provide everything that you need. Your money is your money, my money is my money. What exactly am I getting? And they'll say that, you know what, you're the low value man, because a real man doesn't ask a woman what she has to offer. Instead, he tells her what he can offer her. And that's an absolutely ridiculous thing. Men are actually the ones born with the real value because we are natural survivors, we are providers, we are protectors, we are survivors. And if you look at artwork that goes back to like the Victorian era, that goes back to Greece, that goes back to the Roman Empire, it was actually men that were in these statues. It was men were the vision of perfection, of beauty, of closest to God. There are pictures. I think it was the Sistine Chapel, where there's like a picture of like Michael reaching out to God or in heaven. I think that's what it was. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it shows that the male figure, the male form, at its best when men are fit, when men are masculine. That is what was seen as most beautiful throughout history. And then the Sims stepped in and they messed that up. So you guys need to know that. You need to understand that. So that's one of the first things you have to look out for, a woman who brings nothing to the table. The next one is masculine energy. No one likes that. A woman who doesn't have feminine energy and embodies masculine energy, that's really very toxic. That's really gross. A lot of dudes do not like that. No man should really want to be in a relationship with someone that's giving off that masculine energy. If you want someone that gives off masculine energy, then you shouldn't be looking for a woman for that. You should be looking for a man who can give you proper masculine energy, but is also going to treat you like a gentleman and carry themselves like a gentleman. Because women who give off masculine energy, they don't carry themselves like ladies. They carry themselves in a very disrespectful and toxic way, in a way that men don't want to speak with them. They don't want to deal with women like that. That's not what men are looking for. It's amazing because when a man is masculine, he carries himself like a gentleman. But when a woman is masculine, she does not carry herself like a lady. She carries herself in a way that exudes toxic behavior and the type of behavior that men want to stay away from, because it doesn't add to a man's life. It actually takes away from a man's life. It takes away from his happiness. It takes away from his wealth. It takes away from his spiritual well being, his mental well being, his physical well being. It takes away a lot from a man. So a man has to stay away from a woman that exudes that masculine energy, because that masculine energy is not good for you as a man. You have your own masculine energy, but a masculine energy coming from a woman is energy that you really have to stay clear of, because it's going to drag your life down. If you want masculine energy in your life, you get that energy from another man who understands it and who knows how to cultivate it and express it properly in a healthy way, because women don't know how to express masculine energy healthy, because it's not something that's supposed to be natural for them. But unfortunately, that's what they deviate to at such a young age, that by the time they grow up, they don't know anything about femininity. So I want y'all to take that into very serious consideration. Stay away from women who exude masculine energy. That is a very large sign of a low value woman, and you don't want that in your life. All right. The next one is going to be poor communication and poor personality. A woman who expects a man to entertain her and has no essence beyond looking pretty and wanting to take selfies is a woman that you really need to avoid. A lot of these women, modern women today, they have nothing to offer, but they take everything, they want everything. They basically act like, oh, I want a man who, talks about his feelings. She doesn't want you to talk about your feelings. She just wants you to know if you still care, if she still just wants to know if you still care about her. That's it. She doesn't care how you're doing. She doesn't care if you're happy, sad, miserable. She doesn't care about any of these things. She only cares if you still care about her. If you tell her how you're feeling and the struggles you're going through and things that are happening in your life, guess what? That'll only make her feel less attracted to you. That's the honest to goodness truth. Okay? They act like women are the best communicators on the planet. They are absolutely not. Women are the worst communicators, because men spend all their time learning how to communicate with women. So you have to think about it very carefully. Men are actually better communicators than women. What it is that women spend a lot of their time just yapping back and forth with other women. So of course they know how to speak to another woman. They know how to, ramble on and on and on. That doesn't make them a better or more effective communicator. Okay? Just because they have more experience doesn't mean that they are better at it. The truth is that they have more experience in the wrong ways of communication, toxic ways of communication. Okay? Simply being saying that, well, I can communicate doesn't make you a good communicator. Are you a good listener? Are you a good speaker? Do you know how to listen to a conversation and then offer something of value in that conversation? Many women don't know how to do any of that. So even if men communicate less, men tend to communicate more effectively, because they're looking at how they can best reach a person and effectively persuade them. This is why men are better salespeople than women. Think about this. The best salesmen are men. That's why they're called salesmen. That's not to say there are not good salesmen out there, good saleswomen out there, or good female communicators. But when it comes to communication is something that men work on. Men spend a lot of time working on their personalities too, working on themselves so that they can attract a woman, so they can show that they have qualities that women are attracted to. And let me just tell y'all something. This is more of a modern day era thing, because if you go back like 100, 200 years ago, it was literally about, do you have a job? Are you in, do you have a good relationship with God? Because that's a sign that you won't put your hands on your wife. I was watching a video by Alexander Grace a while back, and he literally said it. Going back a while back, it was just literally, do you have a job? And will you not, and you won't put your hands on your wife, because that's a lot of dudes used to be real furious back in the day. And they come home from the farm, they come out from the field, or they come home from the factory, and, they would just go to town. And it's because of that, that's why fathers and women would look for a guy that was not that type of person. But a lot, I want to say that type of person, it doesn't mean that they didn't have the ability to do that, because every man should have the ability to do that, but they were able to hold themselves back from doing that, because grandma knew back in those days not to upset grandpa, because grandpa wasn't going to tolerate that in his house after being out there in the streets working all day, laboring to come home to grandma's nonsense and jazz. Grandma knew grandpa wasn't going to tolerate that. Okay, when grandpa came home, his bath better be ready, his food better be ready. She better have everything together. Okay, and she better be together too. She better look good and smell good. She's been home all day, and the house better be clean. There better not be a speck of dust. Let me say a speck of dust, because grandpa doesn't tolerate filth. Grandpa doesn't tolerate any of that nonsense. Now, the next slide is going to be no financial literacy. A woman that doesn't keep track of her expenses but wants a millionaire. And a lot of these women are like that. They don't keep track of their expenses. They don't know what they're spending. They have these massive amounts of money that they owe in student loan debt. They expect a man to cover everything for them, to take care of them. That's why you have these only fools and lonely fans people that are making all of this money, but they're going to end up broke in just a short period of time. Like, these people have less financial literacy than a lot of these NFL or NBA players who, they make $1 million, couple $1 million throughout their career, sometimes tens of millions of dollars throughout their careers, and then they're bagging groceries at Alberts because or Albertsons because they're now flat broke, and nobody feels sorry for them. And there's no reason to believe that these women are going to be any different, because as soon as they get that money, they're going to go out and buy an expensive car, buy a big house, and start acting like they're ballers when they're really not. But guys, those were a couple of signs. Those were 5 signs of a low value woman. Let me know what your signs, signs that to look for to determine if a woman is high value or low value, but specifically low value. I want to know what your thoughts are, and what you look for. What was missing from the list? Tell me what was missing from the list, or which of these signs were your favorite signs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Men walking away. And cheers.